Hello, welcome from Painter and Decorator York, and this video is about how to paint a room from start to finish, and it's for you DIYers out there. So in this guide what we're sticking to is matte emulsion. Which brand do you use? Well, don't go for one of these from the cheapo, the pound shop things. Because the paint, there's a reason it's really cheap. Because it's crap. It really is. You need a decent Dulux. Dulux good. Ball, brilliant paint. Zinzar. Go for one of these really good brands. I think the Dulux, I use a lot of the trade. Also, this is the thing, get trade paint. Don't buy the stuff that you get in B&Q, the ones on the shelves and that. It's a totally different paint, totally different, especially Dulux. So you've got your paint, make sure you get enough, because especially if you're doing a colour, because they're actually done in batches. It's probably not that noticeable, but it can be. If you paint a strong colour and think, oh, I've run out, I'll go and get another batch, you can actually see the difference. Sometimes, not always, but it is possible. So there you go. Anyway, that's another side issue. So we're now ready to start. Where do you start? Well, you work from up down, not down up. Obvious reasons, but we'll start with the ceiling. Now, when it comes to rollers, if it's a high ceiling, you better get one on an adjustable thing so you can do full strokes. You need to be able to go in one length, one run, and one run back. You do not want to be zigzagging all over the place, because it shows up, and ceilings especially show every mark that you do wrong. So do that. But the first job is to get yourself a 3-inch brush and get some paint. Go around all the edges of the ceiling, paint this 3-inch all the way around. Now I put an additive in my paint. It makes it more pliable and it keeps it to stop you getting that edge. So it's worth using. I'll put all these details. I'm going to do another one on all the products that I use, but and I'll do a cheat sheet if you like. I'll put this in, but for now, we've got this. You've painted around the edges of the ceiling, and you're going to start with your roller. Get a decent sized roller. The Tiger one is one of the brands. Big, thick, really thick one that hold a lot of paint, because you don't want to be doing half a roll, half the ceiling, then getting some more to go again. You want to be able to do full rolls with the ceiling. So once you've done all this, you're going up to the edge where you've painted your 3-inch, and you can lap over that and then go all the way along just one direction. Oh, I know a song from them. Okay, I won't sing it. Right, once you've done this, need to leave this to dry. Now, while this is drying, you can actually do some of the other preparation that you need to be doing. There's places such as, if it's in the kitchen, as we're talking about, between the units and the base units and your wall units, there's usually a little run where there's paint on there. You can paint these things in if you want. Or the other, which is probably a good idea to be doing, is to move on to your skirting boards and paint your skirting boards, or start the paint skirting boards anyway, with a good this is where I use a satin finish paint. Usually Zinzar is excellent now. This is the crazy thing, you don't need undercoat, but because it's actually built in with Zinzar, so it's the first coat it actually has the undercoat and the top coat with it. You'll need to put another coat on, but I say you can get on with that while your ceiling is dry, because the ceiling needs to be really fully dry before you apply the second coat. So presuming it's all dried, you've done some other bits while you're waiting, we go back to the ceiling. And what you need to be doing is starting the opposite end, coming back. You can do crossways. I still go the same way all the time, because the light, when it catches the ceiling, will show any imperfections. I think if you go the opposite way, which I know a lot of painters do, I don't. I still go the same run with the roller. So you do your second coat. Most ceilings will always need at least 2 coats, and I usually give it 3 coats, unless it's something that's been regularly painted every year. You know, some people, I go to some people where they have it painted every year, and I know it won't need 3 coats. That's their choice, and you know, it's nice to have a nicely decorated room wherever you are. So once you've done the second coat, that can be left to dry, and while that's drying, you can do a bit more of your undercoating, or undercoat with your zinzar, if you like, around your skirting or wherever you want to do. And then we come on to the emulsioning of the walls. But before this, I better backtrack, because what you need to do is do your first coat on all the woodwork, especially around the doors. And I should have said, when you're on the skirting, when you're doing the skirting, you lap over onto the wall just a little bit, just to lap over. So your emulsion's going to come down and it's going to go over that. So we've done all this, you've done all your woodwork, you've painted all your woodwork with the first coat. Now you're going to come on to emulsioning, and you're going to pick the wall you're going to start on. And you'll decide which is going to be right, and you know, it depends if there's awkward things in the way and all the rest of it, and where you're going to finish your edge. So first of all, what I do is down, if it's a square wall, what you're doing is down one edge and one edge, you paint, and across the top of the skirting you paint with your 3-inch brush, and along the top with your 3-inch brush up to the ceiling, not onto it but up to the ceiling, so you painted a square. And I say, with the additive that I put in, it keeps this nice and wet, so you don't get this horrible edge which most people tend to have in the house. I walk into someone's house, all I'm looking at is the like edges and imperfections in the paint. Sad, isn't it? But anyway, so you're starting with your roller, and you're going to go up and then down the other side, up and down, but keeping vertical, keep going, slightly overlapping with each one, not too much. You do the full length of that wall, depending how you are with time, and then you can start another wall. This one should be drying while you're doing that. That will also need all the obviously edges doing with your 3-inch brush, and then if there's time still, if this is still not fully dry, you go on to another wall, but before you do again, you use your 3-inch brush going round all the edges. So okay, say we've now gone all round the room, done every wall there is to do, it's all drying. Now